All right, folks, it's Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician here. We're looking at part 4 of the Tahoe. Upper and lower. It started out as a possible upper and lower intake gasket. As you can see where it's been leaking in the valley here. Now the problem is when it was leaking, the customer was filling it with water, and now there's an ice block all the way through here. And the water pump's frozen solid, the radiator's frozen all the way through. There's ice inside of the lower radiator hose. These freeze plugs have been pushed just a little bit. This one is definitely leaking, and it's been pushed out. So right now we're working on getting our upper intake off, okay? And in order to get the upper intake off, what you need to do is you need to get your coil removed. Now your coil sits over here, and it's going to be two 10mm bolts. And then you need to get your various electrical connections for your multi-port fuel system there. And then you also need to get your two fuel lines disconnected. You're going to be using 10mm all the way around to get your bolts out. You're going to use two 8mm to get your bracket off for your fuel lines. You're going to use 10mm for your bracket back here. And then you're also going to have a bracket back here, down in here. It's going to be a 10mm, so that way you can have some play in your fuel lines. So, and that's just the one thing you got to love about these Chevys is you're able to sit down inside of them and get things done. There's just a lot of room in here. So there you have it. That's what it looks like with the upper intake off of it. Okay. And now what we're going to need to do next is we're going to need to remove our distributor. So we'll get our cap and rotor off, and we'll also get our multi-port fuel system out of here as well. That's not hard to do, okay? At all. Okay, first thing I want to do is unbracket this. Just use your screwdriver there, and then squeeze and pull out. Squeeze and pull out. Alright, and then same on the back here. I'm just kind of watching and looking at things as I'm doing this. Adjust your lines. And find you somewhere safe to put this guy, and I got a safe place for it. Got one that's all melted and no bueno. Got a bad injector, it's melted. Okay. Now remember, this engine, it's locked up, so we're gonna have a problem in getting and setting it to top dead center. So I was just looking at something else I just saw too. So see, I want to put this in a safe place as well. Man, the snow's deep over here. Okay. Set that right there. I won't get anything oily or as such. All right. Grease all over my hands now. I don't think I got a towel out here though. Here we go. Okay. See what we're gonna go to next. We want to get that lower intake off. We want to see if there's going to be any damage underneath there. So for me to go there next, I think I'm going to want to focus on the distributor. Now normally I would turn this engine over to top dead center, but which would be lining this up to here, but this engine is locked down, so I can't necessarily do that. So we're going to cross that bridge when it comes time to reinstall this. There's definitely ice inside of this intake. But the question is the block cracked at all? Okay, so you got one 13mm bolt. It's your adjusting bolt. And take that out with a little foot. See, there you go. Okay, distributor is going to be plugged in. So let's see if we can get to that plug back there. There we go. So you're just going to pull your distributor up and out. Okay, and again, normally you would set the engine to top dead center. That's a pretty clean looking distributor. So, man, it's cold. All right, so normally you'd set your engine to TDC before you pull this distributor out. But we're going to have to do this backwards. Once we get this engine thawed out, set it to TDC, and then set our distributor back in. But there you go, you kind of got an idea of how to remove the distributor. Alright, so last but not least, I believe we're going to have 13mm bolts all the way around. See, we've got all of our brackets off. And they say we get to work. There we go. Get you off of there. And yes, we're in good shape. All right, let's get to work here. And again, as you're doing this, one thing I'm big on is work how you want to work. I mean, so long as it falls within the parameters of the factory recommendations, you're not breaking stuff and whatnot. Just use this as a guide. I have a feeling I'm going to find a block of ice underneath here. I'm going to keep these bolts separate. Now I've got new bolts to replace all this with. You always want to replace your intake bolts, your lower intake bolts. Go ahead and buy the bolt kit that goes with it. I'm gonna have to do something about this heater hose also. But I think on this one, I'm gonna take this one to the mentor and ask him, show him, because it's a quirk I have with these plastic quick disconnects, and I'm always replacing them. So, all right, 4 up front. Now the bracket bolt looks like here. May even also be a mounting bolt. Yes, it is. So I really appreciate you guys watching me, checking things out. Alright. Let's get all this stuff pressed and pushed out of the way there. There we go. Looks like it's really started to snow. Freezing rain, actually. One of these days, I will have successfully worked myself into a shop. Where you at, buddy? I know you're back there. There you are. Okay, hopefully you guys got good camera angle. This thing's frozen. Frozen solid. Yep. Let's see how I can get this thing up and out of there. That just stuck on there really well. There we go. See if I'm missing something here. Don't ever want to force anything. No. Again, it never hurts to double check yourself. Even if you've done a job before. You're gonna get criticism too, trust me. It's one thing I learned exposing myself on YouTube. Alright. And that's why we never force anything. And I don't mind you seeing me do it like that. I've been doing this 18 years, guys, and I learned to work slow is what I learned. All right. Now, we should be good to go. I don't think we need to worry about any water pouring out on us. If I had one there, did I miss one over here then? That's my new question. Okay, where were you? You were right there. So then, right here. Nope. Nope. Okay. So my glasses are fogging up. It's starting to get rainy out here. So I'm gonna stop this just for a second so I can really get in there and see what's hindering me. Okay, folks, well, I appreciate you joining me on this venture, and we'll be right back with the next video.